Hello and welcome to this video about Express Entry, Canada's new electronic application management system. In this video, we'll answer 5 questions. What is Express Entry? How can I apply? What happens after I apply? How can I increase my chances? And finally, what should I do next and how can I get help? Let's go to the first question. What is Express Entry? In January 2015, Citizenship and Immigration Canada created Express Entry. By the way, for the rest of the video, when you hear or see CIC, it means Citizenship and Immigration Canada. Express Entry is a new electronic application management system. It is not a new immigration program. In other words, it is a new way for CIC to manage applications for existing economic immigration programs. The Express Entry system helps identify candidates who will succeed in Canada and invites them to apply for permanent residence. The Express Entry application system is used with 3 different existing immigration programs: the Canadian Experience Class, the Federal Skilled Worker Program, and the Federal Skilled Trades Program. We'll explain these programs in detail later in this video. Let's take a look at the Express Entry process. There are 2 steps in a successful Express Entry application. Step 1. Create an Express Entry profile online. This is a free service. If you qualify, you will be accepted into the Express Entry pool. This means that you are 1 step closer to permanent residence. Step 2. Candidates with the most points will get an invitation to apply for permanent residence. Please note that not everybody in the pool will get an invitation. Next, let's look at Step 1 in more detail. How can I apply? To apply for Express Entry, you have to create an online Express Entry profile. You can create this profile at any time. Always remember, if anything changes, for example, if you get a valid job offer, you can update your profile and increase your chances of success. To be accepted into the Express Entry candidate pool, you must do 4 things. 1. Meet the requirements for 1 or more of the economic immigration programs. 2. Meet the minimum language requirements. 3. Have at least 12 months of full-time or part-time equivalent skilled work experience. And 4. Register with the Canada Job Bank online, unless you have a valid job offer. Now let's look in more detail at the first requirement, Canada's economic immigration programs. There are 3 programs. The first program is called Canadian Experience Class. Let's talk about what you need to apply. Education. No specific education is required. Work experience? You need at least 1 year of recent work experience in Canada. The work experience must be skilled. That is, work experience in National Occupation Classification or NOC, NOC 0, A or B, and be in the last 3 years. Arranged employment is not required, meaning you do not need to have a job or a job offer. You can apply if you are in Canada or if you already returned to your home country. As for the language requirement, that depends on your job classification. If you are working in a NOC 0 management or NOC A occupations that usually require university education, you must have a Canadian language benchmark or CLB 7 or above in all 4 language areas. If you are working in NOC B, occupations that usually require college education or apprenticeship training, you must have a CLB 5 or above in all 4 language areas. The second program is called the Federal Skilled Worker Program. This program is for people with skilled work experience in Canada or outside of Canada. If your education was not completed in Canada, you must get an educational credential assessment. You must have at least 1 year of skilled work experience. Skilled work includes management, jobs that require university or college education, or apprenticeship training. Work experience for jobs that require secondary school, occupation-specific training, or on-the-job training is semi-skilled and is not eligible. Arranged employment is not required. This means that you don't need a valid job offer. You must have language test results of CLB 7 or above in listening, speaking, reading, and writing. Finally, the third option for economic immigration to Canada is called the Federal Skilled Trades Program. This program is for skilled workers in the trade such as carpenter, welder, or electrician in Canada or outside of Canada. For this program, you do not need to document your education. You must have at least 2 years of skilled work experience in your trade, and work experience as an apprentice cannot be included. In addition, you must also have a valid job offer or certificate of qualification from a provincial trades authority such as Alberta Apprenticeship and Industry Training to prove your skills. Lastly, the language requirements are lower for the trades, CLB 5 or above in speaking and listening, and CLB 4 or above in reading and writing. Please keep in mind, this video just gives you the basic information about Express Entry. There are many more details you need to know to apply successfully. To find out all the details about these immigration programs, visit the Citizenship and Immigration Canada website at www.cic.gc.ca. Also remember that you can use the online Come to Canada tool to see if you qualify for the Express Entry pool. It's on the same website. We now have answered 2 questions. What is Express Entry and how can I apply? Next, we'll talk about what happens after you apply. After you apply, CIC checks your profile. If you qualify, you will be moved into the Express Entry pool. CIC then selects the top candidates from that pool on a regular basis. The highest ranked candidates, meaning the candidates with the most points, will receive an invitation to apply for permanent residence. This invitation goes to the email address on your Express Entry profile. Please make sure it is correct and you check it regularly and that all other information is correct as well. If you get an invitation to apply, you have 60 days to do so. For most cases, processing times are 6 months or less. After each draw or round of invitations, CIC will publish how many applicants they invited and how many points were needed to be invited in this round of selection. So what are ways to increase your chance of success? Express Entry is a point-based system, meaning you will be compared to the other applicants in the candidate pool. This means that you can increase your chance of success by getting more points. Let's talk about how your point score is calculated. First, you can get a maximum of 600 points for your skills, which include your language ability, education, and experience. Second, you can get an additional 600 points for a valid job offer. This means that in total, you can have a maximum of 1,200 points. It also means that a valid job offer is very important and can make a big difference. The definition of valid job offer depends on the immigration program. For the Canadian Experience class or the Federal Skilled Worker program, your job offer has to be continuous, paid, full-time, permanent and not seasonal, skilled, not 0, A or B, and either employer has a valid labor market impact assessment, also known as an LMIA, or you are currently working in Canada on a work permit that was issued on the LMIA and the employer has made a full-time permanent job offer. The requirements for a valid job offer are a bit different for the Federal Skilled Trades Program. There are 4 points. The job offer can be made by 1 or 2 employers. The work must be full-time and for at least 1 year, which better reflects the nature of work done in the trades. The work must be in a skilled trade. The employer making the job offer must have a valid LMIA, and if you are currently working in Canada, the work permit must have been issued on a valid LMIA. If you don't have a valid job offer, first, you must register for Canada Job Bank, the Government of Canada's job search website. You can connect with employers there. Second, you should also promote yourself. For example, look at private sector job boards, go to job fairs, contact Canadian employers directly, and do anything else you can think of to find a job and increase your score. Let's summarize what you can do to increase your score and improve your chance of receiving an invitation to apply for permanent residence. You can get a valid job offer. You can work on your language skills and get a better test score. You can improve your education and or get an educational credential assessment. Even if you don't need it under the Canadian Experience class, it may increase your score. You can get more relevant work experience. Remember, if you have been accepted into the pool and your situation changes, you can update your online Express Entry profile and get extra points for your application.